Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the What the Football channel. This is the BH and Scrubber Show. And on today's show, we're going to recap the game against the Patriots. And just for some housekeeping, join us this Saturday. We're going to talk about the upcoming Seahawks game, and that's an important game. And then on Sunday, right here on the What the Football channel, uh, we'll do a play-by-play live reaction show. I'll be calling the play-by-play live reaction. BH is going to be in the chat room, and please feel free to come and check that out. And yeah, BH, that was a pretty good game. I was very happy with it all. And welcome to the show. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. Yeah, it was really good. We didn't play the best team in the league, but considering how we play sometimes against less than stellar teams, yeah, it was nice that we stood up and played well, and on the road. That's important.
Yeah.
I was really happy. I think, obviously Sam Howell continues to be the big story as we get to watch him grow, make a few mistakes here, but overall just seemed to show everyone that he's the real deal at quarterback. I mean, we in our short time, 2.5 years of doing the show, man, we've seen just a slew of quarterbacks. And obviously prior to that, with Alex Smith and everything, the Kirk Cousins debacle. And, there's just been quarterback after quarterback. And so it's nice that we might have some stability there. So I was happy for Sam. He did great. That insane 24-yard run was just that was crazy.
It was good.
Yeah. It was fun listening to you call it, man, because I thought when he broke out of the pocket, I thought, well, hopefully he'll get 7 or 8 yards, so we get some room to punt. And he just kept going and kept going. And he did have the sort of the brain fart interception that just, who knows? Like a lot of people have thought that he just was going to airmail it out of the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
And he just kind of, for some reason, just sort of guided it out there because there was nothing else to explain it. I looked at it. So, that happens, but he's cutting down on turnovers. He's cutting down on sacks. And in the last couple games, the sacks have seemed to come along like more or less sort of O-line breakdowns as opposed to his usual kind of getting a little, I don't know how to say it, but like he's in a ghost world there in the pocket, and he just always seems to run the wrong way or continue to go back or not get the ball out of there. So it was good. And I think I don't know if he had any more. Did he have any designed runs? I thought there was one play where he actually ran where they wanted to. In the game before, he only had one designed run. It was kind of a short one just around the end. It wasn't to the sideline. I'd like to see more of that. I don't want him out there running, 14 carries a game, but he looked good. But yeah, I was really happy. I think you would agree though that we really put ourselves in a hole with both turnovers because number one, when he threw the INT, man, we were knocking on the door.
Right.
I mean, that was going to be 3 points no matter what.
Right.
And then when B-Rob dropped the ball, he basically handed them the best field position.
Yeah.
So, And so then you take away that touchdown. It shows how much our D did a really good job controlling those guys. Because that was that when you take that out of the equation, because that was basically a freebie. They really did do well. And then, let's point out the obvious from the defensive standpoint. They did a good job all the way around. It was a real team effort. There were no sacks. So, right off the bat, you lose your top 2 defensive ends. And then now you can't get any edge pressure. So so that'll be interesting going forward. We did get our young guys in there. We had one sack that got taken away from us.
Right.
And was that a fumble also? Did he get that ball?
It was a strip sack. It was.
Strip sack. You talk about those. Those are the backbreakers. You strip sack a team, and that's just a dagger in their heart, in their psyche. It just, any hope of winning just gets flushed down the toilet. and the Zebras took it from us, man.
Yeah.
They
And it was
just
KJ Henry too, it's one of our
yeah.
defensive ends out there, and he just got fucked. It's terrible.
I mean, that was I mean, I watched Pro Football Focus. Their two main guys. They're pretty. They do a real good job of reviewing every team. And sometimes I would think like the Commanders, we get the short shrift because, they would concentrate on the usual, the Steelers, the 49ers, but they take a good long time discussing our team.
Yeah, they did.
Man, they could not. They were just flabbergasted.
They were livid.
You saw
they
that?
Shit all over the refs for like 5 minutes, dude.
They couldn't stop talking. And they kept saying, look, I'm not the kind of guy that bashes the refs. And then they proceeded to just go, that was the stupidest, the dumbest, the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. So, I'm glad you saw that. Yeah.
The worst call the guy had ever seen in his entire time of watching football. And that says a lot.
It's a lot. I mean, and then they were also just completely bamboozled by it too. I mean, it was like, what did you see? And then I thought their great point what they made was the refs a lot of times, and to their credit now in the last 6 or 7 years, they've been forced to go off to the side on plays and talk amongst themselves. Hey, what did you see? What did you see? And then say, okay, come back. Hey, we're picking up the flag. And they made a point of saying, hey, all you have to do is that was a sack and fumble. Boom, Commander's ball. You just you admit you made a mistake, but you fixed it, but they didn't do that.
Yeah.
So that was really too bad. But yeah, we need to up the pressure. But I think who's our other young defensive end? Who's the other
Andre
rookie?
Jones.
Yeah, Andre got in there. He had actually more snaps than even KJ did. So, but overall, it was great. It was. It was just such a team effort. And I wish it could have been one of those games that we talk about where we take a 10 to 14 point lead and just hang on. Because that's what it was, if it wasn't for those two big mistakes, that's the kind of game it was going to be, because they weren't generating anything on offense. Well, anyway,
the other big mistake, too, was the 7 points came off the fumble, but the other 7 points came off a 64-yard fucking run touchdown.
Oh, there you go.
The explosive play. So if you eliminate that explosive play and you eliminate the fumble, they have 3 points, and we would have had that 20-3 kind of game. And if Sam hadn't thrown that interception, you're looking at 26 to 20 or 23 to 27 points. So little tiny things changed the face of the game.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's a great point because, I mean, if a guy breaks off a 34-yarder, that's not good.
Right.
but a 64-yarder, whew,
that's a David Mayo. David Mayo missed his gap. I watched it. It was fucking horrible. The guy you could have drove a truck through the fucking hole he had because Mayo wasn't. Him and Mayo and Jamin Davis actually on that play, they went in and they both like bumped into each other going for the same gap. It looked to me like Jamin Davis's gap, and Mayo should have been over one. And they were both seemed like they were going for the A gap, and I think Mayo was supposed to cover the B gap, and that guy just fucking, there was just nothing there. So, yeah, he fucking blew that. So our explosive plays, like the week before, the explosive play that got us, Danny Johnson, somebody was out of whack, and that guy was wide open down the left-hand side. The week before, blown coverage, and so if we stop doing that kind of stuff, we slow down the other team on points.
Yeah, that's too bad. And because overall, I mean, I thought, unfortunately, that happens a lot with us. Mayo actually had a fairly decent game. Overall, he had probably one of his stronger games. But that seems to happen a lot with us because, if you look at an overall grade for a Charles Leno, and he goes, hey, that Charles Leno had a really good grade and a good grade here. But, that one time he got whiffed and the quarterback got taken down in 3 seconds. So, I get it overall playing very, very well, but letting those killer plays happen. And that's what just kills you, man. Because this was a team we should have beaten by about 14 points. Because I'm looking out there, their quarterback's not much. Their defense, I mean, we had too many weapons for their D. and their wide receivers weren't that impressive. So I mean, overall, everything was there for a pretty dominant, I would say, fairly easy win. And then what do we do? 3 big plays. We made it so hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
So I liked. I was just looking here some Pro Football Focus. Uh, and Charles Leno had a great game, and I didn't see him really give up any pressures, quite frankly. And the top 2 on offense were Antonio Gibson, who really looked good, and Byron Pringle. And that's one thing we talked about earlier on Pro Football Focus. Sometimes you don't need to see their score to know someone had a good game, and Pringle just seems to be stepping up. On the field, he looks really good. Yep. So, and I thought, I mean, it's funny. Gosh, man, we just keep saying, gosh, when are they going to start using Antonio Gibson? I mean, he really also, I mean, nothing against B-Rob, but in this offense, Antonio should be the lead back. I mean, we know he has his fumbles and stuff. I mean, but of course, B-Rob put one on the ground. But if you want on a dynamic offense, a guy who can run between tackles and take screens and run receiver, a guy like Gibson, you'd almost think they'd use him more, but they started to, and hopefully this game, I mean, he had an 84.9 PFF score. Maybe going forward, start to integrate him a lot more.
I felt like they used him a little bit this game. I thought they did good. They screened him. They gave him some handoffs. He did some great breaking tackles and getting downfield pretty good. So I really liked the play.
And the game before, he was the same way, where he took those screens and he's very explosive. He's he's not a small guy. That's the thing that kills me about him. He's not one of these 194-pound, Jahmyr Gibbs or, these different small guys that are pretty quick. When he gets the ball out there, I'm like, God, he's a full-size running back, but he's so big. I mean, so fast and quick. Once he gets the ball, man, he's got real natural speed. So, yeah, that was really good. The biggest surprise, and there's another one, he looked really good, was Emmanuel Forbes, man. Number 1 rated, and he looked it. And God, I don't know, dude, what happened? I mean, maybe just sitting on the bench, maybe for a couple of games, and maybe he was pressing too hard, maybe he was thinking too much, and having 2 games on the bench to stand back and watch the boys play, watch them sub, watch them in different and just sit there and go, yeah, this game isn't that hard.
Well, I think the caliber of players he's playing against was a lot different than A.J. Brown and DJ Moore.
True. That's true. Yeah, except, man, that damn DJ Moore. I've always hated that guy for years because he's a fantasy bum, because that's what he does. DJ Moore will get you like 38 points, and then the next 4 weeks he'll get a total of 16. And that's exactly what he's done after he torched us. He disappeared, man. So, but yeah, you're right, though. We only had to cover Jalen Reagor and a few other guys, but it was good just to see him out there. I thought he kind of got ripped off on that interception.
Yeah, he was interfered with.
Yeah, because he came back for it, and the guy kind of grabbed both his arms in a way. So
gave
that
him
was
a Sandusky hug.
He did. So that was more of kind of another blown call there, but you don't see offensive pass interference that much.
What did you think of that when I don't know if you saw it or not, when Terry McLaurin went up to catch that one pass and the guy pushed him? Was that blatant interference, or am I wrong?
It looked blatant to me.
Right, he was pushing him before he even touched the ball, right? You can't do that before the guy touches the ball, right? Dude,
you can't do it. No.
It was blatant in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, dude, and man, you get someone like Cooper Kupp, and some guy reaches around him barely and nicks his shoulder. Yeah. I mean, the flags just come flying all over the field. He's like a celebrity out there. Poor Terry. Yeah, that to me, that was blatant. And the thing that was bad about that was it was pretty open and obvious.
Yes. Yeah. They were silhouetted all by themselves, and everybody was looking at it. Right.
Exactly. It's like sometimes over the middle, a receiver will complain that it's being held, and in the replay, he's going like he's doing a across the field kind of play, and you can see the guy's got it, but the ref can't always see that. He can't see around corners, but there was no excuse for that. So, I don't know what to tell you, but So, and also, you know what? KJ Henry graded out really well. He didn't have a lot of snaps. He had about 14 snaps. He just came in to fill in, but he graded out well. Quan Martin graded out well. Of course, he had the interception. That probably helped him. David Mayo was good. And then the other top guy was F.A. Obata.
Nice.
Yeah, once again, like Henry, I think they both, the three defensive end backups all were in around the 14 snap range, but still in his limited time, he played really well. So that's good going forward because we really need all of our defensive ends in that rotation, including the two starters. They've got to step up.
Yeah.
They've got to fill the void, from Montez and Chase Young. So I was very happy with that. I mean, I guess the only downside on defense would be, as far as grading, it would be Fedarian had a pretty low grade. He didn't play a ton of snaps.
Right.
But I think he's coming back from an injury. I mean, let's face it. Is this technically only his fourth NFL game, right? I mean, he missed all of last year.
A lot. So,
yeah, he missed all of last year. So, yeah, he's got to – I mean, Ridgeway, who's in the same year of coming into the league, has probably got 16 more games in him. Yeah. And we've seen, John went from being okay, he moderate, not that great. All of a sudden, John Ridgeway now is a completely different dude. He is making impacts. He's getting fumbles. He's playing really well. Yeah. So I think we can see Fedarian grow.
So. Yeah, just needs snaps, needs time out there. Ridgeway, I love Ridgeway. He was in on a lot of tackles. So
yeah. He's really starting to get it. So he's country strong, country boy. So
yeah.
How do we do? How do we do on injuries? I didn't see. I mean, I haven't heard anything.
No, B-Rob kind of limped off on one play, but he was back in like one or two plays later. I think James Smith-Williams did the old, I'm hurt on that one red flag review play, which Ron Rivera got, which gave him time to look at it. But it was another one of those, everybody on the sideline saying, no catch, no catch, no catch. And it wasn't. And so we got that red flag, was very, very helpful for
Good.
us. But no injuries that I know of. And I know we talked before the show, we did pick up a couple guys. We signed it says a guard on here, but I thought he was a tackle, maybe whatever. But his name is Julian Good Jones, and he's
Julian Good Jones.
Yeah, from the Philadelphia Eagles practice squad, and I think he's either a rook or a first year.
Okay.
And another guy, linebacker Brandon Boyer Randall. And I'm not sure if we just picked him up or where we got him from. I believe he's a rook.
Okay.
So he's kind of a big guy. So yeah, and we picked up. We put Jonathan Williams back on the practice squad too.
That's a trip. Well, maybe hopefully there's nothing to. You said the one guy that looked like he got dinged up was B-Rob. So maybe there's a little something to it. Maybe they wanted a little bit of insurance. So they brought Jonathan Williams back in.
Yeah.
So
I think Rodriguez could fill that spot too. I think he's good enough. I think he's ready.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But what I mean is then basically if there's anything going on, he moves up. Jonathan Williams would he might not even be out there to start, but
right. A lot of holes opened up. If you move up Henry and you move up Andre Jones, and then you put Stromberg goes on the inactive list, that opens up 3 holes on the practice squad, and there's 3 guys right there.
Yep. Well, Julian Good Jones is listed as a offensive tackle, so we'll have to see. Well, if he's playing for the Eagles, he might be pretty darn good, just because of the fact that their O-line is so talented. He's not going to ever get a chance. I mean, that's kind of how we I think that's how we who we were just talking about, the defensive tackle we got from the Cowboys,
Ridgeway,
because they were basically pretty full at their D line, and they had to leave him unprotected, and boom, we jumped on him. Yep. So, well, Very good, man. Hopefully, yeah, and then we'll know more, obviously, about the injuries on Saturday when we do the pregame show.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Yeah.
well, all in all, man, I don't know if you have anything else or anyone else you want to talk about
Well, just
that
a
stood out in
couple
your
few
mind.
things. I thought Sam Howell's doing better in that I see him under center a lot more. And
Yeah,
I feel like that gives them a better view of what's going on. Also having the Larson thing is good. Larson is Gates was a guard most of the time and sometimes center. Well, Larson's a center. And so he
yep,
knows how to pre-snap it. He knows how to call uh, those kinds of things. And between him and Sam here, Sam learns a lot when you play a guy like Wink Martindale and his defense, and then you play a guy like Belichick and his defense. Man, you learn in leaps and bounds. You have to. It's forced upon you. And so I think they're doing a better job of reading pre-snap defenses and also having these. We talked about the pressure relief valves of getting a guy like Gibby, just have him run out. And if you got to dump the ball, you dump the ball. And I think that's been working real well. B Rob caught a couple like that. So it's nice
yep,
having those pressure relief valves out there. And I think Sam uh, is learning that way. The O line has been giving him cleaner pockets for him to be able to throw. That stuff looks a lot better. We've been using those 6 and 7 passing protections. Those look good when you keep a couple tight ends and let them block. Let B Rob or Gibby block a little bit. I've seen some nice chips. You know how I am about chipping and going out. So I've seen a couple nice chips. The other thing I liked is seeing Alex Armah
yeah,
out there. Fuck, I love seeing in line, him down on one, B Rob standing behind him, just skip Alex running by. Alex goes to the line, hand it off to B Rob, and let B Rob run behind him. Now, they didn't really do too good on some of those plays. I felt there was like one play where B Rob should have followed Armah. Armah made a great block, and B Rob just kind of ran into the crowd like he usually does. He should have broke left a little bit, and there would have been a wide open hole there. But I think that could be explored more. I really like Alex Armah being out there. What else do I got here? Uh, couple just I really like Jamison Crowder. He reminds me a lot of what DeAndre Carter used to do for us. DeAndre
yeah.
would be our punt returner. He would also be a receiver and a leader. I think. I think Jamison Crowder, Crowder brings that. I thought he
Crowder,
did a
yeah,
great job for us. Like you said, Byron Pringle did a great job for us. Also, Sam Howell spreading the ball around. So he's not a fantasy football. They don't love him
no,
in fantasy football. He spread that thing around. It was nice to see.
yep.
So we did have a couple drop passes that were kind of a pain in the ass, in my opinion. We had that
Oof,
third down one, and Jahan, it hit him right in the chest, and he dropped it. Diami, I think late in the game, had one there in the corner of the end zone. It was kind of a tough pass, but it hit him right in the hands. He should have caught that.
yeah.
Uh,
He
well,
should have,
he should have had
especially
that.
a
So,
guy too who's being eclipsed by Pringle and Crowder and getting pushed a little bit down.
yeah,
That's your chance, dude. And I hate to
yeah,
say he's a good young kid, but man, you only get so many chances to show who you are,
yeah.
and that hurt.
Yeah, that would have been a score, and we wouldn't have had to have the Sam interception. Blah
Exactly.
blah blah. So let's see. Speaking of Chris Rodriguez, he had that nice tackle on the special teams.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. Oh, and there was I don't know what they were doing. There was like a 3rd and 6 late in the fourth quarter we had, and then they opted to. I mean, the time is running down. I mean, it was like 2 minutes and so many seconds or whatever, and it's 3rd and 6. We're trying to run the clock, and they on 3rd and 6 they throw it way downfield, and
Yeah.
it's incomplete. Well, number one, okay, so let's just say it works. Well, then the game is in the bag, no problem. But if it misses, then the clock stops. Okay, that's your two choices there. Now, if you decide to run the ball, okay, you may not get the first down. That's fine. But the clock still ticks either way. You get the first down, you don't get the first down, the clock continues to tick. And at that point in the game, I think it's more important to, rather than get the big play downfield, is to keep the clock ticking. You see what I'm saying? I thought that was a poor decision on coaching's part, and I won't rag on EB this week. I thought he did a great job. He's doing everything we've been telling him to do.
He's finally listening to us. So
the screenplays look good. I like the draw plays are looking good.
Yeah. Armah's in there.
In there.
Sam's playing behind center. I mean, we've been yelling. You've been yelling for Armah for 2.5 years almost.
Yeah.
And you just said in the last show, man, really, EB did the things we wanted in the last game and continue to do them in this game. But one of your complaints in the last show was, more stuff off the center. Get Sam under center so we can get up on the line.
Yeah.
A new look, know. So, and EB, so I think, EB, I got to give EB a good grade. B plus, almost an A. I mean, I really do. He's finally doing the things we want.
Well, things that are just generally, any casual watching the game would say, hey, come on, you got to mix that up a little bit. 55, 57 passes a game. Jesus. My arm hurts watching that. You know what I'm saying? So.
And I just want to say, sorry to interrupt. And another thing he finally did. Remember early in the game, he uncorked those bombs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they weren't successful. I mean, that's when you do it. I agree with you. Don't go for the 10%. Hey, man, if we hit this play and burn them, we're going to look like stars. Right. Should have done, like you said, run the ball, run out the clock, or roll Sam out for a high percentage throw.
Yeah.
Where he can either, get it out there. And what you say is the same thing happens. Now, he might have to throw it away or they're being incomplete. You hate to see that happen. But on high percentage throws, mostly you get it to your guy. He gets tackled. The clock keeps ticking. You might get a first down. So, I thought I kind of don't like those all or nothing plays like that. I mean, so anyway, but I like them finally pitching the ball downfield early in the game, to send a message, you chuck that rock. I'm telling you, man, linebackers and safeties, they go 2 inches back. And in the NFL, that's all you need, to get guys on their heels a little bit. And compared to that, I mean, EB now, compared to that Giants game where he looked like a high school coach, he looked like he was calling the same 6 play. You know how he has that big, the big piece of paper in front of him?
Yeah.
He could have called that Giants game on a 3x5 index card. I mean, it was horrendous. I mean, we were both just watching it going, where's this great offensive coordinator? So, but except for that one play there, pretty happy with him. He's really is doing a lot of good things. So
great third down conversion rate. I feel like special teams did a great job. Joey Sly did a great job. Tressway putting them down there, and our coverage guys down there getting on top of it. We dodged a bullet on that one where they had the offsides. See, there's one where we gained from the refs. That was such a late call too. I was already done with the play, and then all of a sudden, there's a flag. And I thought it was holding on them because I saw some blatant holding. So I was like, oh, they were holding like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then it was like he said, holding on the return team, that penalty's declined. And I'm like, what? And then he goes, and the return team was offsides. And I was like, no freaking way. So we got 5 yards. We got that first down and then squandered that. Like fucking 3 plays and only like 21 seconds off the clock. You're like, really? They did call their couple timeouts and they were out of their timeouts, but still, you got to get a first down there somewhere, guys. And so I think those are the things that we need to clean up. I think, when you learn and you grow and you learn a thing, now you don't have to learn that thing anymore. You know what it is. Now you can just concentrate on the next thing that you need to go. You need to put that kind of stuff behind you. Okay, we get this now. We know what to do here now. And then the things that you need to do get smaller and smaller and smaller. Right now we have these Wow, we got to straighten up on all these things here. And now we only have to straighten up on these things. And now it's only this amount of small stuff that we need to fix. And so I think that's what we're looking at now. Uh, and I think we're looking good going into like next week against Seattle. Like you said, it's going to be tough, but man, I'm all about this team. We can do it.
Yep. Yeah, that'll be something. So we'll do some studying up.
Yeah.
And everyone out there, all our subscribers, all 125 of you, I think.
Yeah, 126, I think.
120. We're going crazy.
Hell yeah.
And we had a lot of folks come in. We had some new guys show up for the live stream, and that was a lot of fun. A lot of our regulars, Mountain Man was there. Brett Hamrick, he made his appearance, and Brett
Cali
was feeling
Bills,
it. Cali Bills, Cali Bills is awesome.
And V will be back next week.
Oh my gosh, man, that seems like it's been forever. So good having V back. Yeah. So cool. Yeah, it'll be good. And so we'll have all the news and everything, injury reports. So you guys look for our video on Saturday, man.
Yeah.
We'll let you know what's happening.
The roadmap to victory will be told next Saturday. So join us.
BH. That's right, because we know Eric Bieniemy, he'll be tuning in. Yeah, he watches us. I know he does. He does everything we tell him, dude. Every week. Dude. When he uncorked those 2 bombs, I was like, woohoo! I was just joking, but maybe there's something to this.
Yeah. Well, good stuff. Thanks, BH. I really appreciate you.
All right, man. Hey, good show. I'll see you Saturday.
Thanks, everybody.